in Australia, in Canada, in Britain, all these countries, among others, have national broadcasters. And as you say, they're in receipt of huge amounts of public money. And when I see those completely indentured broadcasters attacking day after day Elon Musk as having too much power in the media.
According to Douglas Murray, the battle for free speech is more critical now than ever. He begins by emphasizing how the very institutions that should be safeguarding our rights are the ones leading the charge against those who dare to speak out. Douglas Murray said that if you think you can silence him, think again. He's here to share a reality that's as unsettling as it is important, and he's risking everything to do so. Murray said that countries like the UK, Australia, and Canada, where national broadcasters receive huge amounts of public money, are becoming hotbeds of censorship. He mentioned that these broadcasters are not only trying to control the narrative, but are also turning their focus on individuals who challenge them. He said that the real danger lies in how ordinary people are being punished for expressing their views online. The institutions we trust are shifting their role from protectors to silencers, and this is where the real fight begins.
The few people, complete cranks in the UK who've been calling for some kind of censure of me, I've got a horrible surprise for them. They're not going to silence me either. You might as well give it up, guys.
Douglas Murray said that national broadcasters are losing their grip on the media landscape, and they've decided to target Elon Musk as their enemy. He mentioned that they accuse Musk of having too much media power, but Murray finds this ironic. He said that these broadcasters, who once had a near monopoly, are now bitter because platforms like X, under Musk's ownership, are beating them in ratings and respect. The shift in power from traditional media to platforms like X isn't just about technology, it's about trust and influence, and this is something the old guard isn't ready to accept.
Sorry, guys. You were the guys who were literally given a monopoly, which has to be broken up by the free market. You're the guys who are still subsidized. And you're the guys who can pump out disinformation all the time under the guise of the official sort of, version of events, and still ridiculously have some legitimacy for doing so. The reason why they're going for Elon Musk, among other things, is that he's beating them all effectively in the ratings. X, Twitter, under his ownership, has become so much more respected and used as a news source than ABC and others, that of course they're concerned, of course they're worried. They should be, because it's perfectly possible that it's not just evil Elon Musk that they've got to rail against. Actually, the problem for them is the audience. They are losing their audience all the time. They keep their billion-dollar subsidies, oh yeah, but they're losing audience all the time, and they're losing them, among other things, to Elon Musk. And so, of course, they're bitter. I don't think they're going to have much luck extraditing Elon Musk. And the few people, complete cranks in the UK who've been calling for some kind of censure of me, I've got a horrible surprise for them. They're not going to silence me either. You might as well give it up, guys. The point of this piece, and of course I use plebs in inverted commas, I mean, my point is that I suspect that the authorities, if they try to go down this route, will have quite a hard time, as I say, taking out somebody like Elon Musk. And they'd have a hard time taking out, in that case, I cited Rowan Atkinson, the great comedian, who some years ago defended the speech laws in the UK against further encroachment against the freedom of speech in Britain. As Rowan Atkinson said then 10 years ago, he said, I don't think they're going to kind of come for me. But I think that the people who have less of a profile or no profile could be very vulnerable in this situation. I said what Rowan Atkinson saw 10 years or more ago is exactly what's happening now. Because actually what's happening is that, as well as, by the way, the sudden discovery that our prisons have got masses of room in them, apparently, and the discovery by the police, who can't solve a burglary in most areas in the UK and haven't for years, their discovery that they can be a really crack hit squad when it comes to policing Twitter is an amazing discovery for them. And apart from anything else, it makes their lives a lot easier. It's quite difficult, not that difficult, but it's quite difficult to chase down career criminals who are routinely burglaring villages and cities in the UK. Relatively easy, by contrast, just knock on somebody's door and say, I see that you retweeted this thing and it's regarded as being hate, so come with me. But it's not much of a laugh for the people whose lives are destroyed. And here's the thing, there have been people in recent weeks in the UK who said terrible things online. What they have managed to focus on is people retweeting things that turned out not to be true in the wake of that. Oh, and those people have had special courts set up for them and all-night sittings and more, and the jail cells have been found for them. You can lock up a tweeter in 24 hours. Great example of a completely politicized justice system right there.
According to Douglas Murray, the trend of censorship is spreading faster than ever, and even high-profile figures aren't safe. He mentioned that these efforts are not just limited to public figures like himself or Musk. Ordinary people are being dragged into this as well. He said that in the UK, people are being jailed or taken to court simply for retweeting or sharing content that the authorities don't agree with. This is more than just censorship. It's a complete politicization of the justice system, and it's creating a chilling effect on free speech. Douglas Murray said that this isn't a new problem. He mentioned that years ago, comedian Rowan Atkinson warned about the dangers of encroaching on free speech laws in the UK. He said that Atkinson's words back then are even more relevant today. What Atkinson saw coming years ago is now unfolding before our eyes, with the most vulnerable being the ones who have no profile or public support. According to Douglas Murray, this is a fight that requires all of us to stand up, not just the famous or powerful. He said that the real battle isn't just about who controls the media, it's about who controls the audience. He mentioned that traditional media is losing its audience to platforms like X, and this is why they are lashing out. He said that while these broadcasters still receive billion-dollar subsidies, they're losing the very thing that matters most: public trust. Douglas Murray believes that this shift in audience loyalty is a signal that people are waking up to the biases of old media, and it's causing panic among those who once held all the cards. Douglas Murray said that despite the growing efforts to silence dissenting voices, these attempts will ultimately fail. He mentioned that while the powerful may try to clamp down on free speech, the resilience of those who stand for it will prevail. He said that whether you're Elon Musk, Rowan Atkinson, or an ordinary citizen, the fight for free speech is one that must be won. According to Douglas Murray, the future of free speech depends on our willingness to challenge these threats and protect our right to speak freely. According to Douglas Murray, this is not just his fight, it's everyone's. He mentioned that the stakes are too high for anyone to stay silent. He said that now is the time to stand up, speak out, and protect the freedoms that are under attack. If you value free speech, he urges you to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to stay informed. According to Douglas Murray, our voices are our most powerful weapon, and together we can ensure they are never silenced.